Hey everyone, so this is our first writing lesson, which is about compare contrast essay. Here we'll see a sample and explanation together, then I will give you homework at the end of the session. Okay, so we said before that our essay should be divided into introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. We'll start with the introduction. Now, you can write any type of introduction, but the best type, according to me and according to many teachers, is from general to specific or funnel, because it's easier for you to write, especially if the topic is new or if you have this mind block, and it's easier for the reader to get the idea. So here's the sample. Let me just maximize the picture more so it will be clearer. Okay. So as we see here, the introduction, as we see in the notes here, the introduction in this sample is from general to specific. We'll see why. The writer has started by, on one side of the earth, it's a verdant paradise. On the other, it's a gray, smoky hell. General statement about the topic, which is comparison or contrast between the city and the country. So he gives general statement, as we see a general statement about the topic. We can, if we want, we can give a definition if the topic is new. For example, if I'm writing about capital punishment, euthanasia, these are new terms for people. So I can give a definition at the beginning. But because the writer here is writing about the city and the country, if he gives definition, it will appear to be silly. So he cannot give a definition. He gives like metaphor, comparison. The city is the hell and the country is paradise. Then he narrows it down. We can give here in the second sentence, we can give a quotation, of course, related to the topic. We can mention the place. For example, if I'm writing about pollution, I write in the first sentence about pollution in general. In the second sentence, I choose a place to take to discuss pollution happening in this place, or I can choose a type. For example, I can talk about land pollution, or I can choose an age group. For example, if I'm writing about problems at school, I can choose middle school or high school. So it depends on the topic. A kid, you can choose other things. So I narrow it down to get a more specific idea, but that's not so specific, but a more specific idea. Then I mention, I narrow it more to get to sentence 3. Now, I have to mention if I'm talking about the causes, effects, differences, similarities. It depends on the prompt that I have. For example, here we want to talk about the differences between the city and the country. So he can say, sorry, here, he can write city and country have many opposites. Okay, so this is a more specific sentence, but it's not the most specific one. But it's not the thesis statement. City and country have many opposites. No, so now I, as a reader, I know that I will read about the differences between city and country, but exactly I don't know what to read about. Here comes the role of the thesis statement. So my introduction should be made up of 4 sentences, not 3 or 2. First, I start by the general statement. Then I give the cause, the place, the type, whatever. Then I mention the thing I want to talk about, the differences, the causes, the effects. In the thesis statement, I mention exactly what the causes I want to talk about are, what are the differences, what are the effects, etc. For example, here, I copied it from here. City and country differ in their psychological, social impacts on residents as well as in offered services and facilities. When the writer has a general topic, the general topic, I will change the color. The general topic is city and country. This is the topic. Okay, usually we get it from the prompt, the question we have in hand. This is the topic, but he remembered, no, he cannot write everything about city and country in one essay. Aslan, he doesn't know everything about city and country. So he chose 3 differences. The first one is the psychological difference. Let me go here. This is the first difference. The second difference is the social difference, social impact on residents, on people. And the third is the offered services and facilities. So, أخذ the differences between city and country. He narrows it down. He wants to talk about 3 specific ideas in the essay. One, if we see here, let me get this thing. If we see here, we have psychological, we have social, and we have offered services and facilities. So he has 3 differences that he will mention in his essay. Now I will go to this document. So when I want to write a thesis statement, my thesis statement should have a topic. The thesis statement gives the main idea of the whole essay. It's the most important sentence, and it should be a statement, not a question. It gives the topic, and then it gives 2 or more controlling ideas. For example, I will give you another example. The topic is pollution. Pollution has affected our country in many ways. Till here, it's wrong. It's incomplete, not wrong. The topic is pollution. This is the topic. Okay, and now I want to write about pollution, but I cannot write everything about pollution in one essay. So I want to write about the effects. But Anna, as a reader, I have to know what these effects are. So I have to say some of these effects are having many diseases, fatal diseases or deadly diseases, and for example, reducing tourism in the country. So here we go. We have 2 controlling ideas. The first one, I will underline it, having many fatal diseases. This is the first idea. And then we have reducing tourism in the country. This is the another idea. These are called controlling ideas. Okay? They are called controlling ideas because they control my writing. يعني أنا I have 2 controlling ideas. That means I should have 2 body paragraphs. Sorry. The first paragraph should be about having diseases, the second one about reducing tourism in the country. And if you pay attention here, I used having. So I used having here. Here I have to use reducing. Okay, this is called parallelism. So if I use having, I have to use reducing. If I use to have, I have to use to reduce. We'll go back to our example. He used psychological, which is an adjective, social adjective, offered here is an adjective. So this is as for the introduction. After the introduction, I have to write body paragraphs. I should have 2 or more body paragraphs. Each body paragraph should be made of about 6 to 8 sentences. But if one paragraph is made up of 8, at least I can write like 10 sentences, it's not a problem. But if one paragraph is made up of 10 sentences, the second one should be made up of something near 10. يعني مش 10 and 6, 10 and 9, for example, 10 and 11. They should be parallel. Now, in my body paragraph, I have to start my body paragraph, and then I will maximize the picture here, with topic sentence. If we go to the first paragraph, the inner state of city inhabitants diverges from that of the country. This is the topic sentence. It gives the main idea of the paragraph. I do not give examples in the topic sentence. I do not explain in the topic sentence. I just give the main idea. Then I explain it in the other sentences. I explain the topic sentence by giving supporting details or pieces of evidence. I give supporting details or pieces of evidence to convince the reader about my idea, my opinion. Okay? Then I end the body paragraph with a clincher or the concluding sentence. It's the last sentence of the paragraph. It's this one. This is the clincher. The tranquility and relaxation of the country are soul lightening. He gives his opinion. Now we'll see what we write in the supporting details and everything else. Now, in the topic sentence, we said we give the main idea. For example, let's go here. This one. Now, topic sentence of paragraph 1. Okay? So I can write, for example, it's about having many fatal diseases. Pollution causes people to have many fatal diseases. Okay, that's it. I give the topic, which is pollution. I give the controlling idea to have many fatal diseases that I will write about in my paragraph. Then I start giving supporting details. I can give statistics, real names, dates, examples, research studies or research findings, facts, experts' opinions, quotes, quotation marks, numbers, real life stories to explain my main idea. Of course, I cannot use all of them in one paragraph. I may just use facts in the paragraph or statistics and facts, 2 or 3. Why do I use supporting details? To support the main idea, to explain it, to achieve objectivity, credibility, and accuracy, and to attract the reader's attention. Now, I give the main idea, I explain it by giving these things. I want to end my paragraph. I end my paragraph by writing a clincher. In the clincher, I can write, sorry, okay. In the clincher, I can rewrite the topic sentence. I can summarize the paragraph. I will write them there. Just a minute. So, in the clincher, okay, we can, so, clincher, we can rewrite the topic sentence just in one sentence. This is the last sentence. The topic sentence, summarize the paragraph, the whole paragraph. I can give my feelings, especially if I'm writing a narrative. I can give a wish, كمان if I'm writing a narrative. I can give an advice or recommendation. And when I want to give an advice, I do not say I advise people to do that. This is very weak. I say people should stop throwing garbage here and there. This is an advice. Okay, so Whenever I use the word should, must, or ought to, or have to, this is an advice or order. It's okay. Then I can give future prediction, future expectation, or prediction. For example, if I say, for example, if people or if teenagers use internet all the time, they will be so lazy. So when I use if and will, then it's future expectation. I can give my opinion as a writer. Of course, I do not say my opinion is kaza. I just say, as the writer used here, country revives the soul. This is his opinion. He likes to live in the country. I can give, sorry, write the topic sentence, summarize the paragraph, feelings, wishes, advice, future expectation, my opinion. I can give rhetorical question in order to open new horizon, but I have to be so smart. When I ask a question at the end of the paragraph, I have to let the reader go back to my paragraph and find the answer between the lines and the words of my paragraph. Okay? So I can use these things in my clincher. Okay. So we'll continue with the other things in another video. لأنه the time is up here.